Hey guys, so today's vlog is gonna be a kind of cooking vlog. We have a Thanksgiving potluck at church tomorrow, and so I have decided that I'm gonna be bringing deviled eggs to church for our little thing. And so yeah, it's gonna be great. I love making deviled eggs. They're so good. And it's a recipe that my grandmother taught my mother, and that my mother has taught me and my family. And they're just absolutely to die for. So here are the things you're gonna need. Okay, so these are the things you need. You need your hard-boiled eggs. They're preferably you cook them a couple days ahead of time so they have time to cool. It makes them easier to peel. A bowl to mix your stuff in, plate for the eggs, and then you'll need some, I use real mayo, but salad dressing or mayonnaise, some yellow mustard, pickle juice. You can pick whatever. I like using the sweet gherkins. It makes them taste better. And a little bit of sugar. Don't use the whole bag of sugar. But that's what you're going to need. And the steps for making this really simple. You pretty much just peel the eggs and you cut them in half. Take the yolk out. Then you mix all of this stuff to taste. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and peel the eggs and get them all de-yolked, and then I will show you how to mix it up and whatnot and how to fill them. And like I said, you for the filling for the deviled eggs, you just do it to taste. Okay, so the best way I've found to peel hard-boiled eggs is you take the egg and you just kind of crack the whole shell, and then you just crack the whole thing like that. And then what you do is you take a small bowl of water and you use the water to help peel the egg shell off, and then you can just either dump the water into a strainer to catch all the eggshells, or you just keep reusing it. It's up to you, but that's always been the simplest way for me, and everybody's got their own way of peeling eggs, so yeah. Okay, so here's all the peeled eggs. Each egg makes 2 deviled eggs, so it's gonna be quite a few. And when you're peeling, if you get little splits like that in them, it's okay. That just means that that's where you're gonna have to cut. So now that the eggs are all peeled and whatnot, what you do is you get a knife, any kind of knife. I prefer paring knives just because they're easier to control than any other knife. And what you do, let me set you guys down for just a second. Okay, whoa, highlight. What you do is you take the eggs and you cut them in half like so. And then you take your bowl and you scoop out the yolk. Sometimes they just fall out, which is really, really nice. And then you just boop, yolk in the bowl. And you do that for all the eggs you have. And then once you're done with that, then I will show you the next step. Okay, so I have all of my eggs sliced in half. Depending on how many deviled eggs you're making, you may need more than one plate to sit them on for when you start filling them. Like me, since I'm making for a relatively large group of people, one plate is not enough. So what you do next is you grab a fork and then you take your bowl of yolks and you just start mashing them up. Make sure that, there aren't too many big lumps or, whatnot. You just mash it up, mash, okay? And then if they start sticking together, then you just kind of fluff them, but get them all nice and mashed up. Not too small, not too big, so it's kind of clumpy, okay? And then, okay, so once your yolk is all making a mess, all mashed up, you take a little bit of the pickle juice and you just put it over the top like that so you don't lose all your pickles, and you just pour a little pickle juice in. Okay. And it's to your taste, to your consistency, and it just kind of helps soften it up, and it gives a little bit of flavor to the egg yolk. And then you just mix it in, and since there's so much egg yolk in here, I'm probably going to need more pickle juice than I would normally use. And you can always use multiple bowls you can always use multiple bowls and split up the egg yolk so it's easier to stir. So you just dump some in there. It's always easier when there's less stuff. Okay, so now it's much more room to stir, and then you just stir it up. Add just a smidge more pickle juice. There we go. Make sure it's damp, but not like soggy. You don't want it to be egg yolk soup. You want it to be just damp. Okay, and then we just mix in the pickle juice. Okay, so when it kind of looks like that, it's not soaking wet, it's just kind of sticking together and looks a little wet, then you're ready for the next step, which is to add a squirt of mustard. And I already have, yes, okay. So what you do next is you make sure your mustard's all nice and shaken up, and you just add a squirt. You don't need a lot because it's so strong of a flavor already, mustard. You just need a little bit to give it a little bit more zip. It kind of counteracts the sweetness of the pickle juice I'm using. And because I'm using the sweet gherkin pickle juice. And then what you do after that is you take any size spoon and you add a dollop of mayonnaise or salad dressing or whatever you're using there, and you just mix it in because that makes it stick together much more. And you just mix it in. Alright, and then by this point it kind of looks like paste. A nice thick paste. Alright. So once you get that done, the final step is actually sort of like my family's secret recipe, which is not going to be a secret anymore because not many people do this, is you take a little spoon and you add a sprinkling, just a sprinkling of sugar, and it gives it sort of just a hint of sweetness, just a hint. You just take a little spoon and you just kind of sprinkle some sugar in there. Just a little. You don't, like I said, you don't need a lot. And then you mix it in, and at this point is when you take a little taste. You just grab a spoon and you just take a little taste. Surprisingly, it needs more pickle juice. And you just add whatever you think it needs. A little bit of pickle juice, a little bit of mustard. And you mix it in. And then you taste it. And like I said, for this recipe, it's all to taste. You can't go wrong with this recipe. You just can't. Okay, and then you just that's money right there. That is so stinking good. It's sinful. Now I understand why they call them deviled eggs. Okay, and then let me dust off my mess here. Once you get that done, you get a clean spoon. I know, you use a lot of spoons in this recipe. You get a clean spoon, preferably one that's not too terribly big. And then you take your egg whites and you just scoop up some and you put it in. Just like that. And then you set it on your plate. And that is how you make deviled eggs. And it's so good. And usually when I do this, I have a lot of egg yolk left over. So I just usually make a sandwich out of it. Because it's so good. So that is it. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving and hope you enjoy. Bye now. Alright, here are the final product. Just thought you guys would like to take a little look-see at what some good old-fashioned deviled eggs look like. I know some people like to put paprika on their deviled eggs, but that's not my thing. I don't think they add anything to it. I just think it makes them look pretty. But, yep, that's all we got. So, once again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.